My name is and your life is going to change. You are going to be different. My name is and your life is going to change. You are going to be different. My name is and your life is going to change. You are going to be different. You are going to be out. You are going to be bigger and larger than ever. Imagine the possible. And you know why? Because just you and I will find the
That
power
introduction music.
inside of you all of this time and all of this time. You are afraid to go out and you will be you will be the God, or God is something. You will be the one that everybody but demons and the truth. They're there, the master there, the teacher there, the truth there. No one that will make my life different. And would like to do that? Remember to try to tell you. I'm here to tell you. I'm here to change your life. You'll have to pull up your demons and keep get my way to conquer your world. Before you know, anything you imagine possible. Become possible for one simple reason. Anything is possible. My name is and your life is going to change. You are going to be
welcome everyone for another program of Uncommon Sense. Today we're going to have a wonderful free-for-all. We're going to have a lot of people joining us from all over the world. We have Ivanetta Bo, who is going to be talking to us about recovering from failure, relationships, and heartbreak and things like that. We have Luke Gill, who is my co-host, who will pick up the pieces when I freeze along the way. And we have Danny Tarda, who is a dentist. And if you need your cavities checked, this is the man to talk to as well. So welcome everybody for another show. 2 or 3 other people will join us as time goes on. And so I want to welcome all of you to the show. Welcome, everyone. Please.
Hello.
Hi, Ivanetta, and please introduce yourself to everyone.
Yeah, hello. My name is Ivanetta. I'm life coach and Kabbalistic astrologer. So I basically work mainly with women from all around the world online. Right now I'm in Greece.
Oh wow, beautiful!
Yes,
that's great.
Yes. So I was having lunch with friends and. A friend told me, "Do you want to join this podcast?" I say, "Yes, with pleasure." What's the topic?
Well, we're very blessed to have you. Thank you very much. I've never talked to a Kabbalistic astrologer before. I don't know what that is and what you do. So that would be very interesting to talk about in a little bit.
Okay. Yes,
and
great.
then, yes. Sorry, go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Okay, then I give you your turn.
No, go on. Sorry.
No,
go
because I didn't know the topic, and it's interesting that
it's
betrayal, and
yes.
We are now in the first day of the Kabbalistic month of the zodiac of Leo, and it's connected, this thing and this topic to the Leos in general. So it would be very interesting to share some thoughts about the
I cannot wait. I cannot wait to hear that. And so, Dan, please introduce yourself. Take your glasses off so everyone can see your eyes.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Some of you may know me already. Okay. So I am right now in beautiful Prague, and let me show you around a bit. Yeah.
Nice.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. Beautiful scenery, right? Okay, guys. So
you're on the Pest side of Budapest, are you?
Yes. No, actually, I'm in Prague. Not in Budapest.
Oh, Prague. Okay, Prague. But sorry,
it
wrong
looks
place.
Somehow similar. It
looks the same.
Beautiful place.
Yes.
So about me, I used to be a dentist many years ago, 7 years ago. I retired early, did a few investments, and enjoyed my life, right? When it started, everybody went on boat, and now it's over. Now back to work, everybody. Who can go on. Others have to work now. Back again. It's over with the fun time, I guess.
That's great.
So I'm traveling around the world.
Dan is retired, and I'm just tired. So just to let you know.
Yeah. I'm tired of being retired. No,
Here we go.
joke aside, life is beautiful. You have to enjoy, do what you love. So I'm traveling around the world and enjoying myself,
Very
friends,
good.
life, whatever. It's a project.
We'll talk about that in a second as well. Luke, introduce yourself to everybody.
Well, I'm Luke. I'm Dr. Mel's son, and I'm here to pick up the pieces here and there.
You know, I'm teaching him something that's called how to adjust to failure. And so I set him up for failure today. I didn't tell him you were coming on. I didn't tell him Dan was coming on. I didn't say a word about what we're going to do today. So let's see how he handles himself, because he's very upset with me, but he's smiling through all of that.
I'm the type of guy, I love having some structure. I love having some kind of plan. I feel like it flows a little bit better that way. But,
that's the joy of having.
Let's enjoy it.
That's the joy of having children, Ivanetta. They can't divorce you, so it's pretty cool.
It's for life.
I've tried.
For life. And
wait
isn't
a
that
second. Look, it's your son.
is my son?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Right,
I
right,
think
right.
the last name. Okay, great.
Right.
Okay.
And
No, Elizabeth. She's great.
yes, Elizabeth is his wife. That's right.
Yes.
That's right. Yes. She's a wonderful person.
I totally love her from the moment
Yes.
I met her.
In fact, if she will come on, it'll be very good as well. We can learn some things about pain and now could you lead the discussion, because you said we are in the time of Leo, and so in the time of Leo we have a lot of heartbreaks and
No, well, energetically, every month has different energy. So basically, Kabbalistic astrology looks the sun and the moon, and there is this Kabbalistic calendar that indicates when the sign month starts. So in the next 29 days, all of us, it doesn't matter which sign you are, we will be under the influence of the sign Leo. And Leo
Okay.
is the fire of the fire. It's double fire. So during this month, we have like the most positive day of the year. It's actually the Kabbalistic Saint Valentine Day, the day you can connect to your soulmate or just to celebrate
Wow.
love. Yes, it's the
So,
full moon
wait,
of Leo.
what's the day?
Uh,
What's that day?
This year, it changes. Every year, it's different.
Yeah.
So this year would be August 5th.
August
yes.
5th. Oh,
Yes,
wow.
it's the full moon in the month of Leo, and we also have the most negative day of the year. That
Right.
because fire, it's like the sun. Yeah, Leo is ruled by the sun.
Mhm.
So this fire energy can be very productive and creative. It gives life. We cannot live without the sun, but also we can get burned. It also
Yes.
can be destructive. We can cook.
Yes.
We can use fire to cook very nice food, yeah, but also
Yes.
we can burn forest and destruct life. So this month we have to take attention how to balance
that.
all this double fire energy, yeah.
Let me ask Dan, because he's familiar with
I'm already into it.
Yeah, very much so. Yes. Tell us about the burning and what's going to happen with you in August 5th. Is it August 5th, you said?
August 5th
I think-
is the positive day of the
The
month.
positive
yeah?
day.
Yeah.
So what do you have planned, Dan?
Are you talking to me? What I have planned on the 5th?
Yes. On the 5th? Yes.
Of August.
You
Well,
have to plan
I don't
quick.
plan so far ahead. I don't plan so far ahead. That's too far for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I live in the present, guys. Sorry. Not sure.
All right. Are you very much into astrology and especially Kabbalistic astrology?
Actually, Kabbalistic is very interesting, but it's an unknown territory to me. But I'm very much into astrology because I think it's our life's energy. Whoever invented it, it's like chess. There must be some genius behind it. I think it's all somehow related. But, well, each one has to have make their own experiences.
I think I know the guy who invented it. It was Orlin from Staro Jacobo. He created this
Oh, yeah.
astrology thing.
No, I don't
Yeah, and the
agree.
Bitcoin.
I'm just kidding.
And the Bitcoin as well.
And the Bitcoin as well. Yes.
Actually, I believe in astrology for what reason? When I was 35, I went into it, and I was reading some reports about me, and I said, "Holy cow! Somebody has written my life book." I was really
Yes.
impressed. I thought I had everything in my hand. I thought I had planned everything, or coincidence, and it was like destiny. And then I started a little bit to look around people. And then I just noticed there are so many celebrities like Carl Gustav Jung, Rudolf Steiner. Many people
Mm.
were somehow looking into that. I mean, research.
What's your sign?
And even I'm a Gemini,
What?
so bad guy, huh?
Gemini.
Gemini.
Could you
Yeah,
tell
yeah,
us
very
something
bad
about
guy.
Gemini, Ivanetta?
You better be careful.
My mother's a Gemini. I was wondering why I feel so motherly towards Dan. He's like my mother
Okay.
almost. Yeah.
I wanted to adopt you.
Well, we are,
That's why.
yeah. First, we are not our sign. We have the 12 signs, and they're just archetypes. And Kabbalistic astrology focus on that. We to understand what is our tendency in order to raise above the zodiac. So I'm not conditioned by being, for instance, a Gemini, starting too many things and not finish them, or having too much curiosity of so many things and not be able to focus, or having difficulty to compromise to one thing and learning in depth. Yeah, because I'm busy with everyday life, so I find it hard to put long-term goals. So the question is, when I'm conscious about it, that I have this tendency, this influence, to work on that. Yeah, and instead of looking to have fun all the time, because Gemini love to have fun and enjoy life.
No.
Yeah, and many things like entertainment.
No
and
way.
Busy doing couple things at the same time. Instead of that, focus on me to have fun, to know that I'm very good in that, and entertain others, make them
I
have
see.
fun. Yeah.
And what's your
Communicate.
sign? Just out of curiosity, what's your sign?
My sign?
Yeah.
I'm Cancer.
Cancer. Wow.
Yeah,
is
not a
that
typical one.
not
But
a
I
typical
love the
one?
sea. I love the sea. You see.
You love water. Yeah.
Yes.
Water
Luke
sign.
is
Yep.
Luke is also a water sign, aren't you, Luke? A Pisces.
Yeah,
Is that a
Pisces.
water sign?
Pisces. Yeah.
Yes.
Do you love the sea? Look.
Oh, I love it. Can't get enough of it.
Yes. And you,
My-
Mel, what's your sign?
I'm Aquarius.
Aquarius.
Yes. I'm the healer for everybody else.
Yes.
You know, if you have a mental or emotional or psychic problem, I'm there. I help
Yes,
you.
and you unite the tribe. Yeah. You give us.
That's correct. That's correct. First, I got to find the tribes because they kind of disappeared on me. I don't know if you know my tribe. Have you ever met my tribe?
No, you don't have a tribe because you're unique.
Oh no, I do. I
But
do.
you find, like you have your people, but you're always like different and unique and rebellion and being able to see the future.
I had a tribe. They're called the Fakawi. Have you ever heard of them? The Fakawi tribe? Yeah, they're from Africa. They're about 2.5 feet tall, and they wander around in the reeds that are about 6 feet tall. So nobody ever sees them. And I
How
lost
much is
them.
this in meters?
Well, that's in meters. They are about less than 3/4 of a meter, and high. That's how tall they are.
They're like.
Yes, and they live in these tall reeds that are about 3 meters tall. Yeah, they call the Fakawi tribe, and the reason they're called the Fakawi tribe is because once in a while, one will turn to the other and ask, "Where the fuck are we? We don't know." You see. The Fakawi tribe. That's the only tribe I have.
It couldn't be
Otherwise-
normal tribe.
No.
You're definitely
Anyway.
Aquarius.
For sure. For sure. I know that Luke is very serious half the time as well. Is that normal for a Pisces? And during this
Well,
period, the Leo
serious.
period. Yeah.
During this period.
Mm.
Well, it's very personal to talk. I don't like talking about personal. You have to see the chart, but in general, it
Oh,
can cheer you up and give you more energy, creative energy. Pisces can blossom your creativity and project and new ideas,
wow.
and yeah, to think about how you can step into your true leadership,
Wow.
new
That's very
creative
cool.
ideas and partnership and business. Like it's very good period for that.
Well, that's very cool. So Dan needs to travel more. Luke will be more creative, and I've just lost my tribe. That's all. This is the period for me. Yes.
The resume.
That's so sad. So tell us something about people being happy, being sad, being, especially if they're in a relationship and the relationship is ended. How
Yeah.
would you help them recover, like you specifically?
So you said like betrayal, like if somebody betray
Betrayal,
me or I don't feel good in a relationship, I really
right?
focus on why we attract this kind of relationship and why we get emotionally like with very often, like especially women. I speak from a women point of view, like falling in love with the wrong guy or like like if somebody betray me, I have been there in this relationship and I couldn't see it. I couldn't see it coming.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
it's really, I have this issue and lack of connection, this to happen. So
I
it's not
see.
about the person, it's about me, why I attracted this in my life. It's
Right.
never about the other, it's about me, my personal journey, why why I allow this standard. And betrayal, it's often happened because Leo is connected to heart. Also, that's why I said it's connected, yeah, and all
Right.
this love. Very often they have this issue of not forgiveness, and the cosmos is sending them oftentimes betrayal in this kind of situation in order they to forgive and being humble and
Ah,
to let go, to learn how to let go. Um, because and also from my point of view here, like as a therapist, as working one to one, if somebody betrays me, first I have to ask my question: where do I betray myself?
mm-hmm.
Because if this happens to me outside externally, it means
Right.
that I do this with me. So
Right.
how do I betray myself? Maybe I like to do something, I'm not doing it. I'm not being honest and truthful to myself, and that's why this is presenting me externally in my life.
Right.
Yeah.
But sometimes though, is it possible that the person is just an asshole?
Yes, but why you are with an asshole? You have the problem, not the asshole.
Because we need to build ourselves for the ultimate relationship that we don't know is coming yet. August 5th,
Yes,
maybe.
truth. Yes,
And
truth.
so we
So
have to go through a
oftentimes,
lot. Yeah.
yeah, before finding our soulmate, there's no coincidences. Every relationship is preparing us
Right.
for the right one. So we are
Correct.
learning,
Exactly.
yeah,
Yes.
so we are learning
I like that.
oftentimes lessons, yeah. So they push our buttons.
Yes.
So if they push, it depends, and to see individually which buttons push that person. It can
Yeah.
be like a woman, they get married, they're happily together, they have 2 children, then suddenly the guy betrayed the woman. Typical
Mm.
story with another younger, pretty, whatever. So
Or a
here the
camel.
question
Yeah.
is, yeah. So here the question is, why this happened? Maybe that woman betrayed herself and she stopped taking care of herself. Maybe she put a lot of weight. She stopped communicating with her
Uh-huh.
husband. She stopped communicating, like having the right balance. And you know, in the beginning, we go to holidays, we're in love, we take care, we give presents, we go to romantic dinners, and suddenly, with time, we stop to take care of the relationship. And after suddenly this happened. No, 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 no. It doesn't happen suddenly. It
It took
already
time.
it yes.
Yeah.
It's never like out of the blue.
You know, the last time we were on, Luke was saying that he had to kiss a lot of frogs before he found Ellie.
And it's great. It's
Yes.
worth it, the frogs, yes. It's worth
Yeah.
it of the frogs.
Definitely worth it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All roads lead to something great.
And I
Yeah.
thought he was developing a taste for frogs. That's all. It's a whole different story. So Dan, what do you think about all that? How do you recover
Well,
from
it sounds
heartbreak?
from the frogs. Oof, brah. uh, well, what I think about it, my opinion. So I try to simplify things. In general, I agree 100% with what you say, but I try sometimes to see things from a different angle. So what I notice in general, and I think it's a problem of society today more than ever, think if you compare the past and the present now, before I have the sensation people were giving more. If you look back to your grandparents, to grandmother, it's like she took more care of everybody around the family. Today, well, the people are too busy. They don't have time. So not having time means you are not giving anymore. While you are not giving anymore, it is changing. So you become somebody who receives or wants. So most people run around life and they want love, they want money, they want wealth, but nobody is thinking at any moment to give anything. So
Actually, this is
now,
the science of Kabbalah. It's about giving and receiving. How to
okay, I
receive
didn't
on
know
the
that.
right
So,
way.
oh, so
Wow.
very interesting. My observation then it fits in because what I noticed is people all the time demand, and they still have the sensation they don't have enough. They don't love themselves enough. They want more self-love. I think we are in a narcissistic society, which, in my opinion, we already ended up. People are not interested in the stories anymore. Attention span has gone down. Interest in other has gone down.
Right.
Also, the deepest friendships in the end are about giving and receiving. You cannot end up being only a giver in life, but you
No, no
cannot
balance.
just
I'm a
live
giver.
and demand,
I just give.
demand,
You
demand,
need to
because you
receive
won't get
in order
anything.
to
It
give.
doesn't work like that.
Nobody gives me back
You need
anything.
to
It's
give
okay.
in order to
So sad.
receive. This is my philosophy in
No,
life. So
I have no
I will
tribe.
not
Nobody gives
demand.
back. What the hell? Luke, are you glad that Ivaneta said that this is part of the whole Kabbalah thing for Dan? Are you glad for Dan? Because for a minute there, I thought he was looking for somebody like his grandmother, about 75, 80. Is it? Or to be with?
She she must be 100 now in grace. 100 plus.
I'm just joking. I mean, it sounds like educate me a little bit more, Ivaneta, about how the um, uh, Kabbalah rules the thinking of a lot of people. Because for me, as a psychologist, right, I
Yeah,
have to assume that the mind is the basis of happiness, the mind is the basis of love, the mind is the
exactly.
basis of
The
everything.
consciousness, yes.
Yes. And how is consciousness related to the Kabbalah, the way you
Well,
practice?
Kabbalah it's all about consciousness. It's mind over matter.
If it
It's
doesn't, if you
like
don't mind, it doesn't matter.
it's all about what we think and understanding. Like there are physical laws, like we know gravity, and gravity existed before Newton explained the formula of gravity, right? It was
Hmm.
there. So the Kabbalists, what they did during all this century, this lineage of people studying, it's this universal spiritual law. So they describe them, and by understanding them, for instance, one of these principles is giving and receiving, and it's about how Kabbalah, the word Kabbalah, it comes from the verb kabel, which means literally to receive. How we can
Oh,
have it all on the right way, because you cannot only give if you don't receive. You will, in the end, it will finish. Like you need it. Life it's about circle. You also need to receive in order to give. So it also explains the role in the relationship, like men and women. What's the right balance? Who to give, what to receive. You know, it's a whole like understanding of life.
well, yeah, yeah. Describes gravity
And
exactly as well.
and what you said about the grandmothers, yeah, we are living in different generation, definitely, and things are happening so fast. And yeah, we also I also think that there are another forces like in family constellations. We speak about that. that can influence the way you understand relationship. And psychologists, they center in like the first 7 years. What was your example of family? What's the model of love relationship, of giving, of receiving, how you learn that? And also astrology, when I do charts individually, when I know your birth, your hour, it's interesting that because I also study astrology, psychology, and all this, yeah. So it concedes we choose which parents, and which town, which date to be born, in which circumstances, as
So
well as I can see,
you believe in
like,
life after life. You believe there's
yeah,
reincarnation, and that
yeah,
we decide who circumstances and all we come into being with and
yeah,
all of that. So you
in
okay?
order to reveal our potential.
All
And we
right.
repeat the movies, we repeat the patterns of thinking. So in the
Yeah.
natal chart,
So
you see what is the pattern and how I was thinking that. So it's repeating in the next life if I'm not conscious about it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my battery is finishing.
Oh
Just 8
dear.
seconds.
Did you want to connect? See, that's
I have extra
yeah.
battery. I will not have.
That's women's number one complaint is when the battery runs out. So we'll wait till she. Lawrence, if you're listening, your devices are not connected, so I can't bring you in. The mic and the camera are not connected. I see you backstage, but I cannot bring you on because you're not connected. Please connect your microphone. No, no, no. I'm talking to one of the guests, Lawrence Buckley from Ontario. And Lawrence wanted to be part of this as well, so he cannot. So, Luke, how do you feel about what Ivanetta is telling us about Kabbalah being the basis of what we see in life, represented in life? What do you think about that?
Yeah, it's certainly an interesting theory. And I think, the best relationships are definitely a give and a take, and steady flow of energy back and forth.
You don't believe
Undeniable.
in the best relationship being give and take because you give, I take, or no, it doesn't work like that. It should be back and forth.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. And Dan, what do you think about that?
I think, yeah, you're right with Luke.
Thank you. So we'll go back to Ivanetta. You're the only one
Joking.
providing. Oh, okay, good. Tell us more.
Okay. Just one question, Ivan. So what you said, actually, what I understood is, I believe in that. So basically, we have chosen to be born in our families, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
I didn't understand the question. I'm so sorry. We have children to be born in a family. That's if you don't pull out in time, I think. But that's a different thing.
No, I said we chose to be born in our families.
Ah, yes, we did.
Yeah. So
Sometimes I have a
that
hard
is
time
a
believing
theory.
that.
Well, I believe in it somehow.
Do you
because,
believe that?
you see, it just makes
Luke,
sense.
Luke,
Look, what do you
Luke
think
doesn't.
about it? I'm
He doesn't
curious.
believe that. He doesn't believe that. What do you
No?
believe, Luke?
No, it's possible. I don't know. Time will tell.
Yeah, all is possible, indeed. Indeed.
All right. Well, let's take another topic then. How about healing? When people go into all the experiences, they have expectations of somebody else. They have expectations of a relationship, of a job, of a situation, of a geography, and they move to a new town, like you did,
Yeah.
move to a new town. Oh, not a new old town, I guess, for you. But and then your expectations are there, and then they don't fall to expectations; they go less. How do you handle that? How do you teach your clients to handle, or your friends to handle disappointments and discouragement and such like? Ivanetta.
You asking me?
Yeah, because the other two guys are not speaking. They're just kind of
Okay.
looking at you.
So, so one of the things again, we often think that we will find our happiness externally. Like, I will get my dream job, I will move to this town where I will find this. I will, like, if I change my environment, I will change myself, my life will change. So what I explain to my clients is that the real change doesn't happen that way. And I explain the pyramid of transformation. So in the pyramid of transformation, down you have your environment, then you have your habits, what you do. Oftentimes people think like, if I start going to the gym, I will lose weight, I will take a personal trainer. So, hey, Ellie, hello.
Hi, good to see you,
I
Vanessa.
hope
Hi.
my phone doesn't die because I'm running out of battery.
Okay.
I'm explaining the pyramid of transformation. So when my habits, I just only change my habits, but I don't change my values.
Yeah.
I don't make a real change.
Yeah.
So, and to change
Very
my
true.
values, I need to change who I am, what are my true desire. So
Okay.
by first changing who I become, myself, then I change my values, then I change my environment and my habits and everything. So my expectations are not external, that if I move to New York, I will find my boyfriend. No, you can find when you are ready internally. Yeah.
I have a question
this
from
is-
Yeah,
One
Pyongyang,
of
you
the
can't find your
things-
boyfriend either.
what?
In Pyongyang, you can't find boyfriend either, believe me. I tried.
And
Not boyfriend, girlfriend.
where
Pyongyang in North
Yes.
Korea.
Yeah. No. I knew where you were going. We have a question from one of the listeners, Eljana Nikolava.
I wanted to share one other secret which I can give if you have problems
She
with
has a question
expectations.
for you. She has a question for you.
Oh, thank you.
Can I read it to you? She says, "Hi
Yeah, but
guys."
can I first
Yeah.
give one tip? Yeah.
Yes,
Because
yes.
these are the expectation things. We often time and then we are sad and we desire this project and doesn't happen and we suffer from that. So one exercise I give to my clients is you kill your wish. So you make
Kill your
like
wish.
Okay.
yes. So you write down my wish to have this job. Yeah.
Yes.
And I say, I kill my wish. It will never happen. So I write it down. And then I write 10 things that because this wish will never ever happen in my life, what I will be doing instead. 10 things. Because I will not have this job, I will be doing this. I will have free time, I will start studying, I will do this.
Yes.
And then I put the paper together and I make like a little funeral, like a shamanic ritual, yeah?
Wow.
And I really
okay.
like cut this and I let it go. So I stop care. I kill my expectation.
Okay.
Well, I like that idea. It's also a brilliant way to find you in case I lose you. We'll just have to follow all the little funeral pyres and papers and they're burning. She's at that end. She's gone there.
You can. I have clients all around, so you can find burning papers.
burning papers everywhere.
If you see,
Just-
yeah.
It would be. Eljana from Veliko Terranovo says, "What if
Yeah.
I'm a parent to my parents? What if all the time I help them? Is this
Yeah.
correct?"
No, definitely no. There's no the right order of giving and receiving, because a family is like a system. So in every system, there is a hierarchy. Somebody can help me in English.
Hierarchy.
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 So when there is no the right hierarchy, like the parents are giving to the children are giving to their children, there is disbalance and constant suffering. Neither the parents are fine, neither she. And if you do that too much, what problems can happen? You don't have space to create your own family. I don't know if
And
is
so-
that the case.
She's already got 2 kids and another one on the way. She's creating
Okay.
at the end of 5 years a basketball team. So there,
Okay.
she's nonstop.
Yeah.
So what would be your advice to her to do what?
A family constellation with her mom. so she can check. It's a new technique, very special. So she
Okay.
to have the good connection and relationship with her mom, healthy
All right.
relationship. Yeah.
So there you go, Eljana. You need psychotherapy from, as we are speaking to Ivaneta about that as well. Dan, what would be
Yes.
your advice? I think you've met Eljana before. What would be your advice to her?
I sincerely no clue. I wouldn't know what to tell her.
And Ellie, what would you tell her?
No idea.
And Luke?
I would. I don't know the situation exactly. I would say, everyone experiences that at certain points in their life, has to parent their parent for one situation or another. But it's up to you to, set the ground rules, set the boundaries, and decide what you are comfortable with, and move forward based on that.
Like, so
Maybe
Luke,
she should take it a bit easier with basketball team.
not too many. Just
Yeah, well, you suggested, but I think your timeline is a bit too short. Maybe it takes a bit more.
yeah, we don't want to do that. So in other words, what everyone is saying to you is take time for yourself, take care of yourself, and take care of your needs right now and what you are trying to do. Is that right, everyone? Is that basically what you're telling her? Yeah?
Absolutely.
So there you have it, Eljana, from the best of the best of the best from the Black Sea area and from the Czech Republic. We have advice for you about what to do. My mother is listening to this program. Everybody say hello to her.
Hi.
My biggest fan, and so she listens to the program. Eljana says thank you guys with a big heart. So she's saying thank you. You may not be able to see this because it's on StreamYard, but I also see it on Facebook. And there have been a couple of questions also so far. One question is, can Kabbalah help me to get wealthy? Somebody wants to be rich. They want to be very wealthy, to be a millionaire. So
Yes, of course. If you have Kabbalah, can give you the understanding of how there are different topics of how universe works, how giving and receiving. So how you can find true abundance, not only to be a millionaire, but also to have abundance in all areas in our life, and to not have lack. So to have abundance, to have love, to have everything, to have it all.
now, for people who cannot access you because you only work with women, is that right? So other than wearing a dress,
No, I work with men, but
oh, you do?
No, I work with men as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Just, I don't know how. Like most of the women, most of the people coming to my seminars were women. So this is how it happened that most of my clients are women. But I have also men.
I see.
Clients, yeah.
I see. There's a wonderful coach in Singapore. Her name is Diana Lane. She gave me her couch yesterday that she didn't want, and I could use a couch. So it just so happened that I was thinking of having one, and lo and behold, she has. So Diana, if you see that in your Facebook or your Messenger, the link to come on the show, then you can meet a lot of people from. Actually, all of them are from Europe right now. So the guy from Thailand did not show up, so we don't have him. And another fellow from Japan couldn't even come on, so they didn't come on. So I don't know how to do that. But Diana joined the show, and this will be very, very useful. And you see a link in your messenger, and so then you'll know that this is happening. So while we're waiting for her, I have a question of my own, Ivaneta.
Okay.
When we deal with Kabbalah, with the problem with a lot of people is that when they have one thing that works, then that thing becomes their whole life. Like some people are NLP experts, so they'll use NLP for everything. How do you solve this NLP? How do you do this NLP? How do you give birth NLP?
Yeah.
Da 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 da.
I'm different kind. As you said, I'm not typical cancer, so I love having the global. I'm also NLP practitioner. I have all the courses, so I also have a business master coach, and I have like so many. So there are instruments like tools, yeah.
They're
So I
tools,
think
exactly.
yeah. So I think good therapist is the one has many tools. So
Mm-hmm.
when I need NLP, I do quick NLP session. I change here. So
Mm-hmm.
when I need another thing, I use different tool. Yeah.
Yeah, Luke is also NLP trained, so you guys have a lot to exchange when you get back to Varna from Greece. A lot to talk about
Yeah.
as well. Yes,
Very happy to
Sounds
meet in
great.
Varna.
and
Beautiful. Love a cup of coffee.
Lawrence just told me that he can't get on because he can't figure out the camera. But Lawrence, if you want to come on with just voice, that's also okay. And if you have a question for Ivaneta, Ellie, Luke, or Dan, feel free to put your questions right down in the column, and also in Facebook and on YouTube. This is streaming out live, and we're in conversation with a Kabbalah astrologer, therapist extraordinary,
Coach.
and coach, and a retired dentist who is my best friend actually as well. And we have such a good time in Varna whenever he comes. And Ellie, who is the wife of Luke, and Luke, who's my son. So there you have this whole complicated menage that's here. And speaking of menages, how do you feel about last 2 weeks ago? We talked to somebody about polyamory. His name is Ashok Thakur, and he's a guru, a shaman, who is now in New York. He's in California with some movie star doing what I don't know. He's on her ranch, and but he talks about the fact that he's doesn't feel you should commit to one person, that you should love many people. How do you feel about that? Anybody? Anybody
I'm
here?
fixing a Kabbalah.
These guys.
So, Ivaneta, everybody is waiting for you to speak. Oh my God.
So I prefer monogamous relationships.
A what?
Yeah, how you say monogam?
Monogamous.
We can't hear you well, Yvette.
Yeah, you got to come closer to the phone. You got to come closer to the phone. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
So,
Yes, perfect.
I believe one partner relationship. And also I think relationship it's hard work as well. It's a compromise. It's work, and with time, love has to grow and really grows. Instead of fall in love, it's all sparks and then slowly down. So I believe true love, it's work, it's compromise, it's shared moments, it's passing together through difficulties. So I don't believe in many relationships, especially in the same time. I think for me, this personally would bring me like constant gratification for a while, but then darkness after that.
Okay. So if I can summarize what you just said, you're saying that relationships are hard, or it's when it's hard you have a relationship.
Work, it's compromise.
Oh, okay.
No, they're not hard work, but also you have to put your effort. As
a lot of effort.
Previously, because our partners, they push our buttons, and we have to fight with our ego. Yeah?
Right. Is that true of you and Ellie, Luke?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes there's too much giving and receiving. What can we say?
He says he gives more than he receives. That's his mother's genes talking, but that's a different story also. Dan, how do you feel about what Ivaneta said?
Yeah, what do you think about that? You're in a relationship.
Wow, that's a very difficult question. Look, I think it can come the right person in life and then it feels just easy. But it may be not the right moment. I mean, it happened to me in life. then
Mhm.
the ego can come across as well. Depends on how much ego you have. But on the other side, I believe that we do not need to love exclusively one person as well. So one of my philosophies, you can love everybody. You don't even need to be loved back. You can even love people that later turn out to betray you. And then if you look back, in the end, it was your decision because you always and uniquely love because you love. You see, you may love somebody, but that person may not like to be you or so. So again, we love because it's our pleasure, right? So if it's our pleasure to love, I love my friends, I love my parents. I didn't get along well, but I love them. I love everything actually, and the more you love, the more you notice you don't really love that much, and you should love much more. And then you end up loving life, and you end up loving everything you do, and then suddenly your whole energy changes. So I think it's better than the life partner you choose. That should be the person which you feel something beyond love. That's my opinion. Beyond means
What love?
you feel something
Beyond.
special, something
Beyond love,
love, something
Beyond
special that
love.
connects you beyond,
like
beyond,
Beyonce.
Yeah.
No,
something
what?
special that beyond.
Like,
So this is
Wait.
more my ideas.
Define beyond love. I don't know what that means
yes.
because
What means for
because
you
if I don't
beyond?
know
Look,
love,
for me,
what is beyond? Holy crap!
okay. Look, if you love people generally, yeah, and you love your life and you are bliss somehow, then you have to make a distinction between that person which you choose to stay with and the people you hang around with, like me. So then there must be something else, a choice, and you must feel it, but it has no definition. It's just a feeling that you feel like a kind of you have been born with that person, you just fit nicely, you just enjoy the time, or it's a choice. But that choice is a very minuscule feeling. It is nothing special like this, like butterflies in the stomach or so. That goes, maybe it stays the whole lifetime, I don't know. For some,
Um.
maybe it stays. So that's my definition actually. It sounds a little bit woo-woo, but it is
Hello.
Hi,
intuition.
can you
It's
hear us?
intuition.
I'm sorry. I will lose you very soon. Just to say that I will
Oh,
probably disappear in a while.
Okay,
battery.
it don't
Sorry.
worry,
Let's
Dan.
hope in the
It's
universe.
not it's not because of what you
I wish I
said.
could stay. I have such a pleasure be with you and share
Ivaneta,
poetry. I really enjoyed this.
Ivaneta, I want to thank
Thank you
you. I
so
want
much.
to thank you
Thank
for
you, Vanessa.
sharing. I really appreciate your sharing. Thank you very much for your help.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So I will keep listening until my
Okay.
phone dies. Okay.
Okay, good, good, good.
Big kiss,
Excellent. Maybe you
everybody.
find a charger somewhere. Maybe you find a charger somewhere and get back on.
Yeah, if you find the right person, you'll be charged up for life. You never know. You never know. And I figured out why I never found Miss Right then, because they were all standing on the left. Did you know that?
Oh yeah, all the time.
All the time, all the time.
Or behind, being with a knife stabbing you, right?
It's a whole different story altogether. But I like what you said
Yeah.
about having the experience of being kind and being loving in the whole process. It seems like loving is a mindset. Is that correct, guys? Do you all
Yeah,
agree?
agree.
It's
Totally.
look
Yeah.
for me. I love.
It's also you can
I've been with.
expand your love and learn to love. I think.
Yes. Yes.
You can,
Dan
but
expands a lot
I
with
mean,
this.
I've never been with a woman I did not. So if I chose to love her then, why wouldn't I love her then? Why would I
Yeah.
say no? I don't love her. She's married. She has children. Maybe she's found another guy, split up, but I still love her because
Or
it's
camel.
in a kind of, it
Yes.
was a wonderful experience. Why would I be in a negative mood or just turn the back and keep some negative sentiments with me? I find it really stupid. And most
Yeah.
people live in these sentiments. I mean, I feel love for the past. The bad things actually we can laugh because they bring forward. So why all the time this negativity about that person did that to me? There are
Yeah.
the layers. Some people say, oh, live in this idea. That person did that to me. I hate her. I hate him. Then there is another layer where you turn the back and never look back. It's kind of non-energy, and then
Yeah.
I prefer to have this energy looking back. I did. It's how I am. I just really, I mean, I just met a few people recently, and among the people where it was an ex of mine, we get along so well, and when we are best friends, so why not something with you in life?
Well, let's welcome to the studio, Dan. Diana Lane, welcome to the studio. Hi, how are you?
Hi.
Hey.
So nice
Hello.
so nice to see you. Let me introduce Luke, my son, his wife Ellie, and Dan Tarda, who's a retired dentist from. He's now speaking to us from Prague. So, and we're
Nice
talking
to meet
about
you.
relationships and love.
Pleasure to have you here.
I'm not that
Thank
old.
you.
He makes me very old as a retired dentist.
Make him retired? No, he's one of my very good friends.
I
We sit down and talk about many things, and sometimes because of the sitting together and joking too much, we don't know if relationships are hard or they come about because you're hard. It's a different story altogether. But I'm just joking. So Diana, you want to share with us how you feel about relationships?
I feel like I have a husband who's really loving, right?
Yeah.
So the primary relationship, I think, has to be really strong. And I agree with Danny how, for me, from my perspective, I feel like I have a potpourri of different friends with
Mhm.
different interests to fill up my life and
Yeah.
add to happiness. So, for example, like I have a guy friend of mine, and we like to give each other massages, right? So,
Right.
if my husband's like extremely possessive, I think he wouldn't allow me to have guy friends whom I do that with. And so he's kind of open in that sense, and I have a lot of guy friends that add color to my life. And I feel like the one thing that my husband said of me a long time ago, which made me look at him and I'm like, okay, you're really cool and you understand me. And the one thing he said was that you're so filled with love for the world, love for animals. I let you be free. And that, to me, made me feel like he's really strong to be able to say that and accept that of me.
Yes. I mean, I vouch for that because Diana is overflowing with love. I mean, we've had interviews before, we've had chats before, and we've met some very unpleasant people. We won't mention names, but and yet still she had love for the person, making excuses for them and all kinds of stuff, and and she still manages to laugh about it. And so it was really pretty cool to be able to do that. Now, tell everybody what you do, Diana.
So I'm a leadership and people management trainer. Well, what's all the music in the background? Who's in a restaurant with music?
That's Dan. He's
Oh my God, guys! Sorry,
he's
I thought
he's unconsciously he unconsciously telling us that he's having a great time and we're not. So that he's celebrating and we're not.
Oh my God!
Salud.
Yeah.
I can't hear anything. Oh, good.
Yes. Water bottle style. Just.
Celebration of life.
Yes, it is. It is a
Orangina?
celebration of life.
Orangina Aperol.
We had a long discussion about Kabbalah and how Kabbalah is related to consciousness, and that you have to attune your mind to be able to be happy in anything, even in relationships, especially in relationships. Your mind is all involved. Now, you were saying that your husband thinks of you as a happy person, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, Luke and Ellie are freshly married. Freshly married? Newly married? How do you say it? Freshly married? They're not fresh.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Elsewhere.
and somewhere. And what advice, and how long have you been married, Diana?
Holy cow.
See, she's
Yes.
Hindu, by the way. Okay, if you leave it at us again about 25 years, no.
Prizes for guessing. Wow. Okay. We've known each other since 2001, so we've been together since 2001. So
Wow.
married since 2009.
Wow.
Wow, that's very cool. So
Yeah.
that's 19 years.
Yeah.
That's a long time. Yeah,
Wow.
very cool.
A long time.
And
Yeah. Wow.
what advice would you give newlyweds like these guys? And soon
Enjoy.
to be newlywed, Dan.
Oh, I think it's hard to give advice but I remember one of the keys to, it doesn't come from me, but it came from a couple who was married for a really long time. And they said one important thing is tolerance. But I think that will come later on, not so early on in a good relationship. But tolerance, because everybody has faults, right? And yourself included. And every time you get irritated by something, I think it's good to ask yourself, is the thing that I'm irritated about in me as well? Then maybe it's about yourself, and then just work on yourself. Because, there's so much room for improvement.
Wow, very good advice. Very good advice. This is the only reason I'm single most of the time, because I can't do that.
Look, how
But I
your
think
child
you are completely right. You are completely right. But on the other side, narcissists basically play on that. So they will exactly make you consider that it's your fault. So I think what is ideally is the balance between both what you said. So first of all, looking inside of you and evaluating the situation, if it's authentic that you have the right to be pissed off, because some do it and then they play it up like it's all your fault, And I think it should be healthy balance about cleaning yourself, your emotions up, negative emotions in the kind of, or some subconscious reactions which you may acquire over time or from your parents or from wherever. And on the other side, so evaluating the situation, that you don't step back all the time and it's my fault, or I should change, or I should just not take it seriously, because it may be a serious matter as well, which may affect you, and that makes no sense to go through. But of course, you have been 18 years with somebody, so I guess after 19 years you figure it out. Obviously, that's the in general for everybody.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And I think that's a compliment to you, Diana. That whole string, right there, yeah. And we salute you because of that. Because of that as well. Somewhere along the way, though, I mean, being happy. I mean, I don't know if you think of me the same way, but I think of you as a generally happy person. I really do. And whenever we sit and get together, we're always laughing half the time. I mean, yes, about other people, but that's okay. That's fine. But we're always finding something to laugh about. I mean, Dan and I are the same. We sit down, and yes, we bitch about the world and this and that, but we laugh to death about all these crazy things that are going on around us, don't we?
Nothing sometimes. About nothing sometimes. That's the fun of it.
And
Life
sometimes
shouldn't be taken too serious. Life just shouldn't be taken too serious.
So
Right.
what Dan is saying is that we shouldn't take life too seriously. No, should we take relationships too seriously? Is that it? No? Am I a troublemaker? Diana, do you agree with that, or did Diana suddenly get serious and say, "Who the fuck are these people?"
I mean, I like it. I've not always been lighthearted. I remember going through like a challenging time when I was like acting like a bitch towards my husband for a while. And I remember like taking a pause and I'm like, whoa, is this the person I want to be? Like, no, man, I have to reset, rewind. And then it makes I think it's a daily choice, a conscious choice to be lighthearted. And then when you're lighthearted, you feel free, and then you don't take, like what Danny said, you don't take things so lightly, no matter what it is.
But he's also a very patient guy then, is he?
Who?
Your husband, yeah. Your first husband.
Which one? Who are you talking
Which
about?
one? Yes. Yeah. So for you to have that bitch period that you had with him, for him to have withstood that, something must have been there for him to say, "This is I'm gonna bear this out. I'm gonna sustain through this." And what was that thing that allowed him to sustain that would help Ellie to deal with Luke, or Luke to deal with Ellie, or Dan to deal with whoever? August, we just found out.
Number one, was he patient? For sure, he's really patient. And then after that, I felt guilty. And when he acted up, I just remind myself I used to be really. So I'm like, be patient.
and now it's his turn.
My turn to be patient. I think at the end of the day, yes, patience is very important, and also giving your partner a lot of freedom and space to enjoy their lives separately. You know, like he loves fishing. Can you see all his fishing equipment, all the fishing reels and everything? Oh my god! Right. So I think to give your partner space is very important, so that there is a sense of absence where you can love one another from a distance, and also at the core, respect for each other's gifts and strengths.
What about communication? What about sex? What about all this other stuff? Not important or important?
I think communication is overrated. I feel like it should be more telepathic.
Are you serious? Really?
Yes.
You are serious. Okay. What if they're not telepathic? What if they're just like, oh, I'm reading something. Oh, wait a minute, I'm sitting on the stove. I thought I was hot about you.
But not telepathic sex, right? Not
telepathic sex.
After 19 years, Dan, it is only telepathic sex right now.
Only telepathic.
Yeah, it does.
Diana, but Mel asked you two questions, so you answered to the second. What was the first one?
Wait, her dog started barking at that answer. He didn't like it.
Yeah, because he heard sex. So he heard sex, that's why.
Ooh, wouldn't, I don't know. We just lost Luke there. I think his battery died. But that's
my wolf.
Yep. Your wolf, yes. I'm aware.
He wants to go online as well.
This dog is more protective of her than her husband. Just to let you know.
Wow.
I was in her studio, her office, doing a Facebook live with her, sitting next to me. The dog was between us watching, and if I even touched her, the dog went growling. It's like, whoa, okay, it was so interesting. So I think the husband trained the dog. I'm not sure, but
I think all women should have a dog when they are close to you, but that's my opinion.
This is why I invite you along, Dan. That's why.
Oh, that's funny. I think it's because my dog has German Shepherd genes, and so she's very protective and loyal and smart.
Yeah, that's very cool. So again, telepathic. Are you really serious?
Well, yeah. It's for real. Like I don't think I like less talk actually. I don't know how you feel about it. I think generally the girls. Okay, this is generalization, right? The girls have this want to talk a lot, and then the guys prefer to zone out more.
Yeah.
Generally true.
Generally,
so I feel that women ought to take their talking, like if they have an urge to talk, they have to channel it to somebody else, like the other women friends who share the same interests, women or guy friends who share the same interests, to talk about things, right?
Right.
Because I feel from what I've seen or what I've heard is that a lot of women torture their men through, how you been doing? How's your day? How's this? How's that? And the guy's like, okay, nothing else to say. And then the girl gets annoyed because we should connect through talking. That's how we bond. But actually, I feel, nah.
Wow. Now Dan is thinking, where were you 19 years ago when he needed this?
Oh my God, yeah. And I was thinking, are you doing instead of talking then? There must be something replacing it. And I don't know what it is. I have no clue. So you're watching Together the Sunshine and not talking? Or how is it? Or doing something
I think my favorite times together is when we're on a little like traveling or adventure or, doing like going to the beach, bring my dog to the beach, letting her swim. Like, I think those times are happiest for me.
Going to the
Okay.
beach?
Beach.
What?
Beach.
Ah,
Where you
okay.
have the sun, the wind.
Yes. Oh, yeah, I know. You suddenly became Italiano. Okay. I'm just curious about. Let me ask some very difficult questions now. Because we started off. Yes, with you especially, because I love your attitude and I love the way you are answering these questions because it's in a novel new way. We started off healing from betrayal and hurt. When you're hurt in a relationship or when there's the presence of another person, you have an affair, etc., 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 etc. How does one recover from that, and how do you prevent something like that from becoming part of your marital hoo-ha? There's no word for it.
He's coming. You're going to be on video.
Oh, wow. There's the guy himself.
Oh my God, that's like these politicians without pants that are speaking, having conferences.
There's the man himself, and he's half naked there. It's pretty cool. we
are very happy. We are very happy that he has his pants on. Thank you very much.
At least his pants are on, so that was very cool. That's awesome. And we are joined by our love guru from New York. His name is Ashok Thakur, and we were talking about polyamory and wanted to know your thoughts about that, Diana and Ashok and Dan and Ellie.
Hi everybody. Hi Dr. Gill, Danny, Ellie.
Hey.
How are you? Hello. Are you back in New York?
No, I'm not.
Okay, good. So he's on California time, which means it's pretty damn early in the morning.
I just woke up and I saw your message and I'm like, okay, let's see what we're talking about.
Okay, we're talking about love. We're talking about Kabbalah. You missed a gorgeous woman earlier as well. We have two gorgeous women, and then now we have three joining us on this thing. Lawrence wasn't able to handle his microphone very well. It didn't sound right, but and so we couldn't bring him on. But so Diana is talking about how her 19-year-old marriage has sustained and lived and done so well, and she's walking away from her office because there's a naked man. Yes.
Is that a reason to walk away? She should be walking towards it.
No, I mean, maybe that's good for Ellie, but not for the rest of us.
Oh, this is funny.
And so, who would like to share the thoughts about polyamory, having more than one partner, loving everybody, da-da-da-da-da?
Okay, I mean, whoever, Danny, how are you doing? Maybe you can share.
Well, what makes you think about me sharing it?
Oh, you're a very interesting guy, so I think you must have something to say about it. I talk about it all the time on
What about having different partners? Actually, I've never had different partners at one time. Why would I?
Yeah, but I've never gone to moon either, but I can talk about moon.
No, sincerely, I'm not the guy who can talk about stuff that he hasn't really lived himself. That's not my style. But, well, I don't think it's good because you mix up energies in the end. I mean, you can manage it. Depends on how your mind is. If let's say, more experimental person that is less thinking in general about consequences. So it's not a mind ping pong. I call it a mind ping pong. Means I do well, not blah blah blah. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it may not affect you that much. But I'm a guy that feels. I mean, it happened to me once when I was a kid. I had a relationship and I just fell into it. It wasn't my intention. I just came back with my ex because we split up. It was a shitty situation because I like both girls. And then you mess up the old one, and then shit situation. I didn't like it. So for me, this is a no-go. I think it's very personal. Each one needs to decide this. This is not a judgment or anything. It's a very personal thing. People should do what they feel is right for them. If they feel they have to have 10 partners, they should have it in the end. And if they feel the one partner is right, they should have it. And if they feel they need to cheat, well, fuck it, then cheat. And maybe the person that is cheated, who knows, if there is a universe and God and whatever, then maybe that person needs to learn a lesson to be cheated. I don't know.
I think
I
that's how.
decide for myself what I can do or what I want to do. So.
But I think that's how the problem started. They decided to fuck it, and so that created a problem to begin with. But that in Diana's case, though, her husband has put a stamp on her arm to prevent. What is that? Is that a tattoo?
Yeah.
What is that? It looks like a date stamp or something.
Wow.
Like this property is mine. No, what does that say? Courage?
Cool.
Courage.
Courage? Wow, lovely. How amazing. And you put it there because of?
It's a good reminder.
It's a good reminder. He put it in over there. So he said, "Don't ever have the courage to leave me."
That's interesting. Thought?
Or
So
you don't have the courage to leave me. You are stuck with me, baby, for the rest of your life.
Guys, to come back to what we were talking before, because I find the topic very interesting, by the way.
Yes.
Okay, so let me tell you a story, a recent story from a friend of mine, because I think these are the real stories of life. So a friend of mine, he can't live alone, okay? So that's one thing. If you can't live alone, the problem is he tells me, listen, I can't live alone like you. So he's trying everything from Tinder, from Germany, from other web pages to find somebody online, okay?
Mm-hmm.
He's with a work colleague together. His ex-girlfriend comes back to him. She wants a kid. So what I see in the situation, a woman that has a certain age, she's desperate to have a child because she feels somehow her clock is ticking. Then a guy that can't live alone, he has now 3 girls on his own, and the only moment he feels joyful and nice is when he's with a girl. Can I just run the thing? He gives them great time. They feel well. Mm-hmm. Everybody's fine. His ex-girlfriend knows what he does. His colleague knows and even told him to look for a girlfriend because she's married. And I see everybody sleeping with everybody. And she's married, his colleague. And they are all well together. Everybody knows the story, kind of. And so, it's totally fine. It's their decision. So there are 4 people like a movie, and each one decides what happens. And they know what is the reality. Nothing to be judged about. Perfect story, right?
Wow. Nice story. So, thank you.
Just one story. Because I find it interesting, right?
Oh, I mean, it's to having a relationship with more than one person. It's like having a good relationship with one person itself is a challenge. Now you put in more than one. Somebody is going to feel like that their needs are not met, because it doesn't matter. Like when there are 3 people, for example, one person will feel like that there's less attention paid to them no matter what. So it's a lot of work. The people who are in polyamorous relationship, like we think it's all fun and they are enjoying, and they are actually suffering more than the people in a single relationship, because now they have to deal with more than one.
This is the voice of experience. We have to listen to this. Just
Oh, I mean,
Uh-huh.
it's no. I mean, we are ultimately we are human, and there's hundreds of thousands of years of development of all this jealousy and everything, and
And
we are
so many
trying to,
flowers in Garden Eden.
yeah, and we think we can bypass all that because we are such a special human being and we are aware of all these things and all those or maybe you can if you are that aware of it, but that doesn't mean the other two partners can too. Okay, so one
Uh-huh.
of them is going to feel out of place no matter whichever angle you look at it, and I mean literally
Right.
speaking. So that becomes an issue. It's a lot of work, and no matter what you say, uh, you can work on it. The jealousy actually comes from some part of the brain, and Dr. Gill knows probably better than me. I just say the things, and he has the explanation. But there is something in our mind, no matter uh, how you work it. When there is a dynamics with more than two people, there are going to be issues. Like so, it's a lot of
True.
work.
True.
Polyamory is a lot of work. Like it's um, and polyamory is also misunderstood by many people, and I was talking about it earlier, that it is not that you can go and sleep with anybody. That's an open relationship. Polyamory is tough. Polyamory is like, even if you have to get another partner in there, you have to talk with the existing partner in there and make sure everybody is okay. And I ask questions many times, like to the guys who are in those relationship, and I'm like, oh, and we have having the conversation and say, oh, I'm sorry, am I bothering you? You are okay? Are you sure? Okay, I didn't know whether I was too loud. Okay, you
Was he
can come in
playing
if
it
you
out?
want to be live. Live,
What was he playing it out?
you are
Oh,
live
he's
over
talking to
there.
somebody. Hi, who is that?
Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good
Yes,
morning.
You can come in. It's okay.
we were just talking about polyamory, and
I didn't know whether I was too loud.
which number was that, Ashok?
Okay,
I mean, sorry. So, who was that?
well, my friend, I'm staying in at home.
A friend. You're staying in the home. Okay.
Yeah, thank you. So
He answers like Luke answers me when he's a teenager. Who is that? A friend? Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
well, I can't name everybody on the show. That complicates
Okay,
stuff,
yes. That complicates things. Yes,
Right.
that's the other thing about polyamory. You would complicate things. So
Oh, no.
Diana, Ashok
Yes,
was
sorry,
just
go ahead,
explaining
Diana.
to us. It was explaining to us that polyamorous relationships are a lot of work, and that there's a part of your brain that's always, we're 98% gorilla. Our DNA, our mental, emotional, brain structure. So we're very territorial in the way in which we approach things, not just property, but people as well. We think of people as our property, so we piss all over them and to mark our territory, in a way. And in so doing, we limit their ability to have freedom and their ability to fly. Like Diana's husband gives her
Oh, I'm
total
sorry.
freedom.
Did I wake you up?
Another
You
one?
want me to move to another place? You're okay. Okay,
We're seeing it live. We're seeing it live. Oh
I
my
know
God.
that.
We saw already a man who was half naked, so you can
Oh,
do us a
yeah.
favor and just balance out the videos now, please.
That's okay. But the thing is, somebody, and that's what I was saying. Like we have got a reptilian brain, so somebody is going to be felt not loved enough, or felt ignored, no matter how much attention you pay. Like in a three people environment, one person is going to feel they are not getting all the attention, and that will strain the relationship, no matter how good it is. And one person is at a certain point, one person is going to feel that this main person, or whatever you want to call it, is paying more attention to the other one, and that's where all these things happen. And it is also a very hypocritical thing in the polyamorous relationship I've seen. And I did ask, the guy wanted to bring in another woman into the relationship, and then he he vet it out. They talk with each other, and they said, okay, it's okay. But if the woman want to bring in another man into that vetting out procedure is much longer than the other way around. And I'm like, why is that? And because
how many people were at the end of this equation? I mean,
no,
I was just already counting 5 or 6. I mean, to me, it was like, oh my god, I must have been a
Thank you,
super Big Mac.
Yeah.
Oh my god, there's another one now. That's the 7th. That's
Well, they're just waking up trying to figure out he's giving his attention to somebody else, and so.
No, I'm like, I don't know whether I.
Ashok, are there more? Are there more around? Maybe.
Yes. Yes, it's okay.
Somewhere to the toilet where you are safe.
Yeah. No, I'm perfectly fine.
The reason he's asking is because
I wouldn't bother.
I think he's jealous and he wants to be where you are right now, Ashok.
Yeah, I can see you from left, right, a cheek, a kiss on your cheeks, left and right. Oh, you're looking on the other side. That's the next one now.
What are you looking at?
Coming? Oh my god, that's the other one.
So
good lord, it's good to see examples unfolding before our eyes. It's
I mean, it's a wake up time in California. Like I wouldn't have. I was like barely like getting up, and I saw Mel's message. I'm like, okay, let's see what is happening.
I appreciate you being on the show, actually, and I appreciate your candor in speaking about all of this. Diana was telling us that she's been married for 19 years because her husband and her, presumably, give each other freedom to go out with whoever they want, and I guess no sex involved, right? Just go out. Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can do things with the boundaries which keep your relationship stimulated, because basically, this like not talking to another person and not having. I mean, even
Diana doesn't talk. She doesn't talk. She just sends telepathic messages, and you're supposed to be okay with this.
She doesn't have to talk. She's so beautiful. She just have to do, not talk.
That's very nice of you. Now she wants to be in California and wake up with everybody else and figure things out. How cool is that?
Yeah, but
you got a compliment.
No, I'm also like say if you are in a one-on-one relationship, if you think one part of your body doesn't look that great, you can turn around at the other one. With more than one people, everybody has got a 360 view of everything you have. That doesn't work, because where is the end? There is no end to this story, but it is a very complicated relationship. I think the open relationships work with the boundaries as long as the boundaries are predefined. Exactly, not vaguely predefined, exactly predefined. Like you can go do something, but you cannot do this. Like exactly defined. Like I got friends like they said, well, you can go out with the another person if you are more than 500 miles away from your hometown. And I was like, why is that? What does that? What brings up that one? And they said the thing is, if the person is within 500 miles, that means you are in your hometown. That means you are reacting with them more often. It's not a one-night thing. Okay. So they didn't want a long-term relationship. They said once in a while you can go out. And when you are on a vacation 1,000 miles away, it's okay, because you are not going to hold on to that relationship. There's not much of the lingering of that one. But if you live right in the hometown, you can pick up the phone and say, oh, she's busy tonight, so I'm going to call my friend. Well, one who is more than 500 miles away.
I think this is where the song came from. 500 miles. So you have distances of 500 miles from each other. Your world map is beautiful. 500 miles
so
away.
It needs to be. So she needs to be 500 kilometers away or miles, just for my notes.
Right. So I tried to get the psychology behind it, and the psychology behind it was like, it's not that on one Saturday night, like I don't feel like going out to dinner with you, and you can pick up the phone with this other person which you have a relationship, and she comes and take over. If she has to come from 500 miles, it's going to take another day or whatever, and by that time your urge for that is died down or whatever you want. It has to be boundary. The problem happens with those kind of relationship when you don't have a clearly defined boundary of what you can do and what you can't do. I mean, many of the couples who I've seen healthy long-term relationship, they are okay with the flirtation. They think that enhances their sex life, because they say like, okay, you can flirt as much as you want in a party, but I'm going to get the benefit of that party. When you are so excited with that flirtation, you are coming home to me, we are going home together. And what a blessing it is for somebody to think that your love bond is so much, no matter where you're going. And it's just thinking in one perspective, like do you want to feel jealous because that person is with somebody else, or you want to feel so good that that person keep on coming back to you because they love you? Because like sometimes it's just a sexual thing, it's not even a love thing. So it depends how you want to think about it.
Mm-hmm. Diana, how do you feel about that?
Thank you, Dan. So yeah.
Your microphone is muted. Your microphone is okay. There you go.
I
Yeah.
love what Ashok has to share, but when you mention that we're like part gorilla, like territorial, I feel like there are many different species that are close to us. We've got chimpanzees, which a lot of scientists like to compare us with. Chimpanzees are also territorial, right? But we're also very close to bonobos. And I really like learning about bonobos. The bonobos are limited in the world, and so we don't really hear about bonobos. They're limited in Congo. But bonobos are very close to us, 98% identical to us in terms of genes. And they have a matriarchal society, and so women make the important decisions. And in that society, it's all about fun and love, and a lot of free loving going on in bonobo society. And I feel like humans need to know more about bonobos and be more like bonobos. Okay?
Actually, what you say is the same truth about the silverback gorillas in Uganda, which they also are in Congo. It's exactly the same pattern, because we, in the end, to my conclusion, we are all monkeys. That's what we do. Just they have a structure which has been in place 100, 200 years ago in the families, even in Europe, and this structure has just broken away. Like you said, a matriarchal society, and that's broken away in recent times. I would say maybe the last century, because people had, women had their function, men had their function, but it's changed all. Today it's a non-gender society. Everybody's everything. So things have changed.
Cassie Percival Fox agrees with Ashok, and wants to know what bonobos are.
Bonobos, I think she means bonobos.
Bonobos.
Right.
Yeah, that's.
What are they?
Monkeys. It's a kind of monkey. Apes.
Yeah.
Or?
I'll put a TED Talk on the comments so people can actually learn more about them. It's really entertaining video about our closest cousins.
Now you have struck Dan in the heart, because he loves taking these awesome pictures of monkeys and primates and other primates as well. And what?
I should be the pro, right?
Yeah.
With a monkeys, you mean?
Yeah. And tell us more about all of that, right? That's very cool. So yes, thank you so much for sharing all of that. That's very important. And Ellie has been strangely quiet in all of this as well, just listening and saying, did I make a mistake with just one guy?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Do you have
about that? What I wanted to say is I totally agree with Ashok. I think the most important, for me, communication is important to a specific degree. For sure, you can communicate in every kind of relationship too much. If it's either with your parents, with your friends, in your love relationship, but I think once you you set some boundaries, what would you like? Set the boundaries and communicate in a way which is healthy, I think, and you are in balance with yourself, which I've been trying. I've been doing the last little while to find my balance, find my path, find what I want to achieve in life. And I think as long as you have the balance within yourself, automatically everything will fall into place and will be balanced as well.
Very cool. I
See,
try to balance myself, but I fall a lot.
yeah,
So
I know.
I fail.
I think that belongs to it too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fall every once in a while.
Cassie just saw you, Luke, and he says, "Is that the sun?" Ooh, big heart. So
Cassie, how you doing?
yeah, she's a character.
You know, I think a lot goes back to what Dan was saying earlier as well, which is, I mean, he's had many loves throughout his time, and even with his exes, he said he still loves them now.
Yeah.
And that love is something that comes from the inside out. And while, you know, I don't believe that love is about giving and receiving. Love really is about giving 100%. And anything received is extra.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
It's just to
Actually,
have.
you should not ask for anything. It should come, and if it doesn't come, that's it. You had your fun by loving, right? By giving. I mean, this is fun. Giving is nice. Look, we all
So-
give each other a good time, right? That's what we
So,
do. Well,
so
I
in
myself some extra time, guys.
so in other words, what you are all saying and agreeing to is that this is very Khalil Gibran like. He said the ability to love is the reward itself. The ability to be able to
nice.
love is the reward itself.
Beautiful.
Yep.
Beautiful.
And a lot of people don't have that chance to love. Yeah.
Because they close themselves to the possibilities, you know, like what can happen, you know, like that, and then they got hurt once, and then they are like, okay, all men are like that, or all the women are like that, and we are not going to get into this relationship, and like I always say, I said the walls you built around your heart are going to become the walls of prisons for you, because now you are not open and you blocked all the possibilities, and that's nothing new or nothing good is going to happen in you. And other than that, like most of the couples which I know are in a long-term relationship and they're still happily married, is the one which gave each other the freedom to explore with boundaries. Okay, and they all have the boundaries.
That one over there in the corner, she was talking about that.
Yeah.
That they are married 19 years and the husband and wife give each other perfect freedom.
Right. And
Right,
it may be
Diana?
actually, yeah. And it may be actually when you give that freedom, you will not even do anything out of those boundaries, because that fulfills your need of whatever the reptilian need we have it, or all that stuff which psychologists talk about. And then it's a very, like, and man and woman are different. It's not a male chauvinistic thing, because I get always in trouble in that. But if you look at the history, men are never like they were never monogamous, right? They have to figure it out. When the agriculture came in, like, who is my son or who is my daughter, and how to pass on the inheritance. And that's where all this monogamous thing started, because like you wouldn't want to spend $1 million on the education of somebody else's kid. I mean, that's actually, most of the people think like that. I don't know. But you have to know, it's the knowing, and it's the inherent in all of us to leave our mark wherever, like, oh, this is my son and he's going to carry on my legacy, or my daughter, she's going to do this, and it is always in there. So that's why we started all this monogamous thing, because inside somewhere we did not feel like that if you are not sure then you are leaving that big of a mark on the planet, and we wanted to. And then,
What if you're leaving your mark on too many people, and you have many sons from many different women, or daughters from many different women, and what happens to your legacy at that point?
what then you have so many people in the family that you can get elected for a town council or something like that. I mean, you have so many posts. I mean, who leaves all that mark? I mean, the only person
I'm asking a question that comes to a very uncomfortable topic, and that's a topic of sex.
Right.
Yeah.
That's not uncomfortable for me. You know, I can talk about it.
Yeah. Well, that's obvious to us now. We know. We've seen that. But I'm talking about young couples and old. Well, you're not old, but you know what I mean. Older relationships. Diana, 19 years. These guys, less than a year, I think. Yeah, and so on and so forth. And Dan and I still waiting our turn at this coupling thing and all of that. But I mean, I'm not talking to Dan about Dan, but I'm talking about him with somebody else. You know what I mean. But so the point is, if you have sex with too many people in this polyamorous sort of thing and love everyone, then that thing must be saved for somebody, right? Or you should be not. What's the opposite of polyamory?
Monogamous relationship.
Monogamy. Yes, being monogamous.
Not polyamory.
Yeah.
I mean, it is
Mel,
like
Mel, don't even try. Don't even
back to English, Mel.
try. I can't spell the word, so just forget
Yeah, I
about
don't speak English. English, not my first language. I speak Tibetan. In Tibetan language, this is what we do in Bhutan. We have no sex. That's why we're all happy. Yeah. So anyway.
So I mean, it must be serving. It is like then they have the polyamorous couple has to think about, because there is something in that which need that relationship, that kind of a relationship, and then they have to go back, and that's your feel, like what happened with them, like what are the feelings from maybe childhood or earlier in their life, what created that, so that you needed that stability whichever way you need it. I mean, there is a rooted issue in that one, and there is a rooted issue with the monogamous people too.
Yeah, no pun intended. It is a rooted issue. Yes. At some point. But here's the thing. Here's the thing I need to ask though. If you become like Ashok is a shaman, he's a guru of sorts, right? And so he's leading people. No, he is. I respect him as that. He's got great advice. Diana is a guru in a leadership field and coaching and all of that as well. Ellie is becoming more yoga-oriented, body-oriented, relationship-oriented. Luke is multifaceted in what he can do, from blockchain to God knows, everything to do with trading and everything to do with the world of commerce. And he's learning about the human condition. And Dan, after retiring from this business thing and now the COVID thing killing everything else, has decided that spirituality is a personal journey. And so he goes on these personal journeys, but not with anyone. He goes by himself. He invites people to come, and it's disastrous, and then he goes off by himself. But that's a different story altogether, right, Dan?
You explained about everybody else, but you are the one who can make sense about 5 people who are speaking different languages.
Yes, but you're all saying the same thing. And you're all saying that love is very important, an important component of your life. But the question I ask is, if you all grow in your spirituality, and our Kabbalah expert who was on earlier, and I think Ashok, you would come to Bulgaria very quickly if you saw her. She's beautiful as well.
Absolutely.
He won't come for us then. He'll come for her. But that's a different story.
There has to be a beauty and love attracting me at the same time.
Oh yeah, okay. Let's slap him as he lands in the airport. But the point is, when you become enlightened and spiritually attained, is love or relationship even necessary?
So it is not necessary from a point of view of that you want that relationship to fulfill a need in you.
Mhm.
And but it is necessary, like it is sometimes beautiful that when you are on this spiritual path, that somebody comes along who walk with you on that path and who understand what is happening in that path, and you become uh, responsible for each other's spiritual growth. And that is not from a point of need, that is from a point of let's grow as a collective, let's grow as a couple, or more than one, two people.
A
And
couple of what? Yeah.
yeah, well, I said couple, and what is after couple? Like if you are more than two, then what it is? I'm like,
No,
not
and I said a couple of what? But yeah,
Yeah.
that's a different story. But
right. So it yeah, and I
you're saying the same thing, but you shrouded it in hippie language. That's all you did. You said no, it's don't need anybody, but it will be beautiful if we walk on a path with little flowers, and the same thing.
no,
It's with
but
somebody.
no, because when you need somebody, that is, there is a void in you which you're trying to fulfill, and he or she is going to come in and fulfill that, and that is not a right thing. What if you are full of whatever,
Are you?
and the other person, yeah, and the other person is full, and now you're both full, you're not, none of you is hungry, and you're both full, and you walk onto the beautiful path,
So we have two fools, yeah, fools, yes,
I know.
as opposed to two empties. So how do fools fall in love? I don't know. But anyway, so you have two fools coming together.
But full of what? Full of what?
Well, that's a different story. Then
Yeah.
when Ashok gets through with them,
Okay.
that's full of a lot of things. But the thing is, if we were to come together, why would I even need another fool? It doesn't matter. It's just I'm walking a path. The path of spirituality is solitary.
I'm not saying, you see what you are saying. You are saying, why do I need?
Oh yeah, okay. You don't like that word. Let me.
No, because you are being
give me another
needy
word,
now.
yes. Give me another word.
You are being needy.
Yeah, I know. You're gonna do that. Not needy, guys. Give me a better word that's a scale down from needy. I don't need you. I like you.
It's a difference between want and need.
I
Right.
want you. Same thing. I mean, if you turn towards somebody like Diana and say, I want you, that has a different meaning. A husband then comes truly all out naked and says, excuse me. That's a different story. So what's the word? Not need. Two people who come together. Dan, what's that word? Two people who come together. Two full people
I would
come
like
together.
to spend time with you. I like to hang
Spend
out.
time.
It's a
Why?
unique.
Why would you want to if you're fulfilled by yourself? If you're already okay, why would you want to spend time with me? Is that why you didn't spend time with me anyway?
So
Regardless,
To nourish.
when you are full, means you don't need anything. So if you don't need anything, you're on a spiritual path, and you need yourself.
That's
And then
my
you don't
question.
need anybody.
That's my question.
That's the
yes.
point.
Yes,
And
Diana.
now another point is, if we go back to what said love, because the topic was about love, we just went in other directions. Where do we perceive love in the end? It's in ourselves, right? But
So
we need others, we need whatever, we need that. So in the end, nothing really fulfills love, because everything is present, even the person. Either you have outside yourself and you can give it, or you are looking for outside to produce it within you. Everything that produces it within you, it will vanish away after a while. This is my personal life experience. I was in that long time ago. And I think this is the way. You have the love in you. Once you have it, you may then choose the partner you want or not, but you don't need. You're not needy, because you can live on your own terms. So this is, I think, say another philosophy of
Cassie suggests that maybe we think we don't need anything, but in reality we always do, because we're human. And Lauren says the word is complement one another. Maybe. I agree, Danny. Dan's right. You don't need what's another word for need? I'm not seeking. or anybody on my path. I walk it. If you are there, you happen to be at the bus stop, come on my bus for a little bit. We'll go take a look at the scenery and all of that, and you can get off at any time.
That's
Right?
that's what exactly
When you
what I
open the
would
door.
say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what
So
exactly.
is that true, Diana? Are you going to get off your bus anytime soon? No.
I like the story Into the Wild. I think his real name was John McCandless or something like that. So they did a movie and a book about him. So the author pieced together little notes that he had written to people, like postcards and stuff like that. And so he wanted to find himself by going on his journey alone into the wild and across America. And then he had gotten rid of all his material possessions and just gone forth. And it was a very interesting adventure that he went on.
Luke's favorite book, by the way.
Oh, interesting. So I cried at the end, but it was so beautiful when he had carved out the final words of what he had written, right? Finally, when he had found himself, has filled up his tank, and he wants to go out and be back with the world, but ends up, okay, I won't spoil it for people, go watch it, but he carved out the words, happiness is real when shared. I mean, how can you find yourself in, like, let's say, prison, you know, in solitary confinement? It's going to be tough, you know? I remember the POW stories about how they were tortured and not allowed to communicate, and they would find ways to kind of connect with one another through tapping, simple thing like, I'm around, I'm here too. You know, I think that is so beautiful. We need some sort of connection in the world. It doesn't have to be romantic, but I think connection gives us more meaning in life.
So it's a very inherent thing. Sorry, go ahead, Danny.
I would add on a word which is actually significance. The connection, what you mean, I think it's also in the same moment significance. Significance doesn't mean to be big or to impact a million people or whatever. I mean, it's just a significance for people who love you, people who are close by, people who feel you, people who you may feel they are for you. And that's already, I think, a big bonus in life. I mean, solitude is in the end being alone or living alone. Solitude is if you have nobody around that cares about you and nobody to talk, nobody, nothing that actually impacts you, which is living. And I think the connectedness is also significant in life. That's too significant, actually, not to let's say, to become a superstar or so, because that's highly misinterpreted. This is why many people that become very significant in politics or become superstars, they get into depression or they fall down the path in life, or some even suicide themselves, because it is highly taken with being significant, and then really the significance of being loved, or others care for you, or they feel for you, or they know you have made an impact and they don't forget you. This is, I think, it's also important.
So it is actually an inherent thing, no matter what we do and what status we get to in spirituality and everything, that, like Danny said, like we need, and Diana said, that we need human connection. It's a need, like even when we were born and we were like very young, and when a child laughs, everybody laughs with the child. When a child cries, everybody cries. So child thinks the world actually rotates around that kid, and he or she can create any magic. And then we grow up, and all that other nonsense is put onto us by the society, for the religion, for the people who are around us, and that takes us away from that feeling of bliss. And we are always trying to become that child. That's why the playfulness in the adults is so much important. That the best relationships I have is, like, actually, my friend, she was questioning me yesterday. She said, what is the best relationship you have it, and what was the reason for that? And I thought about it, and the reason for that was because it was very playful. And what playful brings us is bring us closer to that kid, and that kid wanted to play. I mean, yesterday, I sat on the bonnet of her, like the hood of her car. I don't know, they didn't understand the word bonnet, but and she drove it, and it was uh, such a feeling, because then you become that kid who want to do all these things, who want to hang outside the window and see how it feels, because the air is different over there. So that connection need is always going to be there. But I'll say, if you are full with love, there is, I mean, I think I am, but then there is nothing wrong with having a bonus point over there. It's like, oh, I have enough money to survive, but then the bonus coming is never bad, as long as it's not coming from a place of need. And then there is always going to be some need, like for that connection.
Did you say boner?
Yeah, sure. I said bonnet. I understand.
Bonus.
Yeah. So yeah, on that too. But it is so much blissful, and I know it experientially. That no matter how you are fulfilled, and you don't need it, but it's nice to walk with somebody. I mean, and that somebody doesn't have to be a person of the other sex. I can walk with Mel Gale and go on a world tour with him for 4 months, right?
But you haven't invited me at all. You're surrounded by all these women, and I don't know when you'll have time for me.
I don't like that much competition.
I'm so sad. I just have no attention. That's all.
I don't like that much competition, so I don't want to invite it, because then you will take away all of that. And I'm like, okay, no, that's not happening. I'm not competing.
I would take away all his women? No.
Yeah,
no, I would never do that.
You will one hand.
Why would I do? I will. For all of you, I will heal your women. Is what I will do.
Yeah,
after you damage them beyond belief.
Yeah,
Jesus.
What if I want to heal it? So it's like.
Okay. All right. How do we get to this point?
I was saying you will one-handedly scoop them all, literally.
Just okay. Spoken like a person with a small penis. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
The point is we've been in discussion with some very, very amazing people. Our Kabbalah expert ran out of battery, and so we couldn't come back. I mean, can you imagine something as big and as powerful as the Kabbalah, and yet it took batteries for us to not be able to chat? And we've been talking with Dan, the dentist, also at the same time, and just to be able to understand where he is in his search. He's not really searching for love, but you are. If it comes, it comes. Right? Is that right, Danny?
Well, yeah, you have to be active as well, because the idea is, if it comes, it comes. I don't think it works really like that. I can tell you from own experience.
Okay, so you
life is,
have to be actively involved.
Beautiful to explore. You have to do your own set, right, life. But you shouldn't exaggerate. You just should accept what is on the way, and on the way you walk, and just enjoy it. It comes.
And then we
should just remain a little bit more the kid in us, not speak too
serious
about life. Maybe doing even some nonsense from the youth. I decided recently to get back on skateboard. I freaking love it. I'm in love with it. I'm here in Prague now, and I'm just one regret I have. Why the hell didn't I met you some good friends? And I meet them later, but I told myself, fuck, we should all have our skateboards now, like in old times, and I haven't bought mine.
Right.
And they have probably still the skateboards. And I'm 46, that's super cool. So falling in love with what you do, that's about it. It's not about a human being only. It's
there's
about
no reason.
Your space.
There's no reason why you shouldn't break some bones over love too at the same time. When you come to Varna,
you need to know what you do.
When you come to Varna, Luke will show you the best skateboard store. It's right behind the Chernomorye Hotel. Yeah, and when he first came, I think, Luke, you got it from there, right? You or Aurora. Somebody did.
Yeah, got a couple of them there.
Yeah, and so they'll teach you.
We go.
Yeah, of course.
Beautiful.
Of course. And also at the same time, we were in conversation with Diana Lane, who is a leadership consultant in Singapore, one of my very good friends as well. We sit down, we have coffee, we laugh about stuff, and mostly about other people. But it's okay. It's we have a motto: if you cannot laugh at yourself, laugh at others. It's always good, and it's always healthy as well. And that way, we don't repeat a lot of mistakes. She's the perfect man. She's the perfect woman for any man. She doesn't talk too much. She communicates with you with pure telepathy. Especially if you are deciding on what restaurant to eat on tonight, and you'll have the answer right there. So there's no discussions at all. And she gives you perfect freedom to have crazy friends like this all over the world. One in California right now, my son and his wife in Varna, and Dan in Czech Republic, and Diana, of course, in Singapore. And so, wow, it's amazing how small a world it is, isn't it? And it takes love to bring it all together because we enjoy each other.
That's the foundation.
Yeah, that's good. Because below the foundation, there's a basement, and my job is to get to the basement.
I understand that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where all the shade is.
That's where the shady stuff is. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely. Yeah. And I love to explore all of that and figure out more about what's happening and how that foundation was built to begin with. You know Benjamin Franklin? Remember him?
Of course.
The father of America, the flag, and all of those kind of things. And when they started digging the basement of his house, they found at least 70 skeletons of children in his basement. They don't know where it came from, and we have no clue. Yeah.
Well,
Cassie wants to know where is Luke. Cassie, he's married. He's not in Thailand. He's in Varna.
And his wife is on the show right now.
Yes.
And she before you sign that final paper, just think this is the only one for the rest of your life. So, and as Diana will tell you, I mean that's okay, but we don't want you to be listening to all of us crazy people and change your mind in another way.
Ashok speaks for himself, not for everybody else, but thank you very much.
Yeah, the expressions, what do you say? The expression expressed by individuals are their own, and
not the opinions of the producers of this show. Yes, Friday we have another show coming up as well, and Luke will probably be the lead host in that. He'll be asking a lot of questions and a lot of things as well. I would invite all of you to be back if you like on Friday, same time. Because we need to finish this discussion about spiritual growth, because it's a real thing. And I hope you will join us physically, not telepathically, so that we can hear what you have to say and discuss it. So now that we're running out of time, I want from each of you, please give us some, because you have a lot of people that will be listening to this. And eventually you'll have 200, 300, 400 people reviewing this. And watching this tape again, what advice would you give them to be happier if they don't have love, to be feeling loved regardless? What would you give them advice? How to be happy, I guess, is what people are looking for. Happiness. Let's start with anybody.
I will start. When you wake up in the morning, you have two possibilities in the end. I like those things. Again, I repeat it. So, what possibility do you have? You have a shitty day, right? No matter what the circumstances are, it's your fault or other fault, whatever you may conceive. Or you wake up and you say to yourself, I will have a nice day. I will be kind to myself. I will enjoy my life. And if you repeat this daily and you wake up with these two possibilities by day, it's just changing in time. Habits. 1 day, 4 weeks, it's in the Bible, everybody talks about it. So in the end, you become more light. Being light means less heavy with problems, less heavy head with 1,000 problems, 1,000 negative things. Once you get rid of all the bullshit, remains one thing, not emptiness. It remains the possibility of being joyful. So the decision if you want to be miserable or joyful. Do this day by day, and that's all. It changes. It's that simple. You will be joyful because that's your decision, or you will be miserable. That's also your decision. Only two things exist, nothing else. That's my advice.
It's up to you. Yeah, very good. Thank you, Ellie. We'll go the way the picture is. Yeah.
What I would like to share is that it's really important to keep the child in yourself, don't take everything too serious, and to find the balance with yourself. And
Awesome. Good advice. Don't keep it. That's what Dan said too. Don't keep it so serious and keep it light as much as possible. Very cool. Luke?
I would follow up with what Ellie said and say, while keeping that child within yourself, children have this energy, this happiness. They're full within themselves. And as soon as you put that responsibility on anyone else in your life, whether it's your father, mother, brother, sister, your lover, your fiance, your husband, wife, that's a huge responsibility to put on someone else. And that's a really, really selfish thing to do, to give them that responsibility when you can't give that happiness to yourself. And so take 100% responsibility for yourself, for your own happiness, be full. And when you do that and you have that, share that with the world endlessly.
Very cool, Ashok.
So yeah, I will reiterate what Ali said and what Luke said. And the thing is, once you realize that happiness is an inside job, okay, you can get to your happiness place and you become aware of that, then all the things which happens outside, you are going to change your perspective towards them and bring that joy into you. I can understand everything around you sometimes overwhelm you. That's why I say play like a kid, like do stupid things, like which the whole world think it's stupid. For me, it's like fun. Do those kind of a thing, like sit on the hood of a car while somebody is driving. I mean, I know, she wasn't driving at 70 miles an hour, but like you can do the fun things and become like that child. And once you become that playful over there, now you are in a state where all the other bullshit about all the things, people, schools, your teachers, and everybody who put it on you because they wanted to control you. Okay, and that's why the whole society, as they don't want you to come out of that and be happy, because then they lose control. Your family lose control who you are, and you are a black sheep then. And then your partner lose control, the politicians lose control, the religion lose control, and they don't want you to be like child. Like how many times have you ever heard it? Like, oh, you're not a boy, you're a man now. So behave like a man. What does that mean? Means get sad? Think about all these things? Oh no, I don't want to behave like a man. If that is what your definition is, I want to behave like a kid. I want to play like a kid, and get into that where I bypasses whatever all this programming happens. So once you become like a kid, you bypasses all that and get into your rooted subconscious, which when you were kid like. So go in everything. There is not an event which can shake you up if your happiness comes from inside. And that's where we had to play like a kid, go inside for our happiness and joy, and play in this ground.
Great. So the message is black sheep matter.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not commenting on that. Yeah.
Just okay. Sorry. And Diana.
Like a summary. Free your mind. And also fill up your love tank.
There you go.
I think all three of these gentlemen would fill up your love tank anytime. Yes. So thank you.
But
Thank you so much.
but her
For
love
sharing.
tank is already full, so you also want to make sure you don't overspill it.
Yeah, but feel telepathically though. You didn't hear the first part of this. You got to go back and you'll understand. Yeah. Diana, thank you, and Dan, thank you. Ellie, Ashok, and Luke, thank you so
Big
much
pleasure.
for being part of this. And we'll see you on Friday, same time again. Thank you, guys. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night. Good night.
Good night.
All right, and here's Luke, and we've come to the end of the program. We've heard some brilliant folks talk about love and their experience of love. We talked about how to deal with betrayal. We talked about how to keep a relationship going. We've also talked about the reality of life. So, as we talk about love, we are swimming in love. Sometimes I lose sight of us if I am in a relationship with someone. And at times, it's like the way that fish cannot see the ocean. The price of lovers swimming in their love is they become myopic, and they start to only have eyes for each other, and they don't see the world around them. And they first fall in love. There's this powerful force of possibility, like Dan talked about, which grips us and pulls us along deeper and deeper into the days. And if you are like Diana and you have a love that has lasted 19 years, then when you start first shaping the bonds of this love, when she first began, they looked at each other and with incredible freshness, they appreciate who is standing there in front of them as they both decided that these are what we want. And like Ashok said, we lay the parameters down. We decide before us what is good for us and what is not. We decide how beyond someone can be in terms of how they impact our life. So we stare into our new lover's eyes the way that we might an overwhelming painting that we see for the very first time, in which we imagine that the secrets of life have been stroked very thickly with the paint. And what is the paint? The paint is like the emotions that we bleed every time. And what is the brush? The brush are the words we speak, the sounds we make, the touch we give, everything. Inevitably, though, as we grow intimate, we begin to lose sight of each other, and there comes a day when we no longer see our loved ones as other people do. Now we see the inside of their face, up close. Now we swim in each other's life, in each other's eyes, in each other's energy, like a mysterious river in which we sometimes see ourselves, and yet sometimes soothe ourselves, and sometimes drink of each other, and ask ourselves, how did we get so lucky? How did we, of all people on the planet, experience this one intoxicating moment that we take for granted usually? And with the wisdom of the years, we no longer do that. So eventually we climb into this painting that we once stared at with our pounding hearts. And from inside the painting, we can forget that there ever was such a painting to begin with. So this is how we can take each other for granted sometimes. I don't know if you can do it telepathically like Diana does or not. Maybe the communication is one of overpowering, overwhelming, overfilling love. Maybe this is how we can imagine that magic can be gone if we don't have that feeling. And that feeling is something that doesn't come from the other person. That feeling is something that comes from your mind. That feeling is something that comes from deep inside of you that says, I have decided that this is the one. This is the one. And whatever this one wants, this one gets. Whatever this one feels, I feel. Whatever this one drinks, I drink. Whatever this one eats, I eat. Whatever this one becomes, I become. But as the reward for being drawn into the sea is to swim with the waves, the reward for being drawn into the depths of another person is to feel each other rather than to see each other. This is the paradox of intimacy. On the way, we see what we dream of feeling, but once we're there, we feel from the inside what we can no longer readily see. And that is when it all begins. And that is when we realize that we are full and that we need nothing else except that moment. I want to thank you for tuning in to Uncommon Sense. You're listening to the voice of Dr. Mel Gill. We will broadcast again with the same group of people and maybe more that will join us from Canada and other parts of the world, from Mauritius, if I can get him on board, to talk about how our lives have played out. 9:30 p.m. Singapore time, 9:30 a.m. New York time, 4:30 p.m. Bulgarian time. Good night, everyone.